it's Lindsay, and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark. And I've also been sending items into the RealReal since November. And a few of you have asked about my experiences on the RealReal, so I thought I would just do a quick video and let you know some of the ups and downs that I've had so far. And it was just a little bit too much to put into the comments to answer everybody. So I hope you enjoy the video. This is not to replace one of my unboxings this week. I will still be back on Monday with a normal unboxing at 8 p.m. So this is just a bonus video to give you some thoughts. Again, I've been sending items into the RealReal since November. I've probably had 5 or 6 consignments of varying sizes. So if you've never sent anything in there before, it's pretty simple. You set up an account, you go in and you create an inventory list, and there's a drop down of what brands they accept, and then you'll select, what kind of item you're sending in. And you can send in as much or as little as you want. And so I think my largest one was 17 items, and then I've gone all the way back to just 1 item. So I have found that sending in less items at a time works better. If they are going to reject anything for any reason, for condition or style, or maybe it's below their pricing threshold, they're not going to send anything back to you until the entire consignment is completed. So they may be sitting on your items for a lot longer than you'd like. So I find it better to just send in a couple things at a time. It's free to print a label. There's no extra cost of doing that. So there has been some ups and downs. The process of consigning with them is quite slow. The average processing time, I believe, is about 4 weeks. However, I've had a pair of shoes sitting there since November 29th they were received, and they're still not in accepted or rejected status. They're just in limbo. So that's been very frustrating, and their customer service is not great. It's, they have a phone number you can call, an email, you can text them. I've also reached out to them on Facebook, and you still just kind of get generic responses. They're working on it, they'll put a rush in it, and nothing happens. So I have no idea what's going on with those shoes. They did send me, a couple different site credits, so I ended up getting a free Michael Kors shirt. So I guess that kind of offsets the cost of the shoes. I'm not too optimistic what's going to happen with those, but we'll see. I'm going to keep following up on it. So to that point, I think it's a great tool to use for things that you have low stake in. So, extra items in these designer boxes, maybe I've already made a profit on the box and I have a few stragglers that would just be bonus profit and I don't really feel like listing. Those would be ideal items to send in. Would I recommend sending in, like a vintage Louis Vuitton that's a family heirloom? Absolutely not. Something that you really wouldn't be too upset over if something goes awry with it. So the RealReal is not going to replace, you grinding on another site. The work you put into Poshmark, which is where I sell, but, if you do eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, that's going to be the best way for you to make more money. In most cases, you're going to make more money selling it yourself. But, there are items, I know in a recent video I unboxed, like a black top and a black dress. Black clothing is very difficult to get ideal photographs of, and those 2 items I could not find a stock photo, and I just didn't feel like taking the time to really list that, and I didn't think I was going to have a lot of success selling it. So even though those are not going to go for a high dollar amount on the RealReal, I was still okay sending those in. So that's ideal. If there's things that are just, extra, that would be extra profit for you to get something for, and you don't feel like listing it, or if there's something that maybe doesn't have a size and you're not really confident about, measuring it, that would be good. Or maybe there's something you're questioning authenticity on. Now, I would not recommend intentionally sending them something is fake, but maybe if you're just not really confident in listing it yourself, they would be a good resource. So when you initially sign up with them, you are set up on 55% commission, but keep in mind that anything under $195 pays at a much lesser percentage rate. So most of the items that come in the designer box, for instance, those are mostly all going to fall under that 195 price range. And I have my iPad here, so I'm just going to look at it for reference. But so anything priced $146 to $195, you make 50%. $96 to $145, you make 40%. And then anything $1 to $95, you make 30%. So if you have a top that you send in and they price it at $50, you know, and that would be before somebody may use a coupon or they discount it down if it's been on the site a while. So you're only going to be looking at 30% of whatever it sells for, which is not much. So in most cases, you're going to be able to make more money selling it on Poshmark. Now, let me just have a sip of my coffee here. And also, you know, when they list an item, you know, most people are going to be coming with like a 20% off coupon, and that'll come off your, you know, the price that it's listed for. In addition, they will keep discounting it down the longer it sits. Now, say you have an item that's $195, they price it for initially, that's the 50%. And if it gets discounted down below the next threshold, like if it ends up at $130, you would still get the 50% of whatever it sells for. So the commission rate is based on the initial price they set it at. And whatever you sell within a particular month, you will get paid on that the 15th of the following month. So that allows enough time for returns to process. So returns. The RealReal, in my experience, has not been very detailed about listing items that have flaws. I have sent a couple things in they've accepted, and even though there's an obvious flaw, they've listed it in excellent condition. And that's frustrating because on Poshmark, you know, I would take extra photos of all of the flaws, disclose it, and the RealReal, there's very limited pictures. You know, there might be 2 pictures of the item and then they don't disclose the issue. So for that reason, there's going to be returns. Now, when somebody requests a return, it'll say return requested, and then, you know, the money will come out of your balance. But that doesn't necessarily mean the person's going to return it. It's just that they've requested one, because I have had several instances where it'll say return requested, but then they never follow through, and then it'll just end up going back into sold status after a period of time. So I think that's about all I wanted to cover. Would I recommend it? Yes, with caution. So I'm still going to be sending items in there. But it's only going to be, you know, maybe 3 or 4 items max at a time. And when you do create a consignment, somebody will reach out to you via text. So I would recommend engaging with them. I don't know if it has any difference in how quickly your things get listed or if they will be able to help you when you have a problem. But it's good to have a point of contact. So I would recommend doing that. And again, just sending things in that you have a low stake in, but keep in mind that you're going to have more success most likely selling it on your own. So RealReal is just there as an extra place for things you don't want to put the time or energy into listing. So please let me know if you had any different experiences, if you would recommend the RealReal to others. If you have any additional questions, I would be happy to do another video. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you back with an unboxing in the next video. Take care.